Perfect. I see you're building out your list of strange human brain body glitches. Let me rewrite and polish these three entries in the same voice/style as the earlier ones you've done. Lie of rationality, everyone is a robot, etc. Smooth flow, light humor, relatable, and a touch of psychology explanation. Number 10. The phantom buzz. You're sure your phone just vibrated. You feel it in your pocket, plain as day. But when you check, nothing. Welcome to the massive global club of people haunted by invisible notifications. Scientists call it phantom vibration syndrome, but honestly, it feels more like your nervous system decided to prank you. This isn't new, either. Back in the pager days, people reported the exact same thing. Your brain is obsessed with patterns, especially ones tied to rewards. So a wrinkle in your jeans, a twitching muscle, even a breeze can get misread as text alert. It's like your brain is that bored toddler in the grocery store aisle inventing reasons to scream. You've trained it to expect a buzz, so it creates one, just to feel important. Number 9. The echo of yourself. You're walking down the street when you swear you hear someone call your name. You spin around, but no one's looking at you. What just happened? That's your brain flexing its cocktail party effect. Normally, this is a superpower. It lets you zero in on your name even in a noisy room full of chatter. But sometimes, the filter is a little too sensitive. A mumble, a random sound, or plain background noise gets mistaken for your alert word. Your brain is basically a paranoid security guard. The second it thinks it heard your code word, your name, it slams the panic button and forces you to look around. Congratulations, your neurons just staged a false alarm. Number 8. The ghost sneeze. Few betrayals sting as much as the sneeze that never arrives. The buildup is there. The tickle, the face scrunch, the dramatic pre-sneeze inhale. Then, nothing. Your body just cancels the whole event, leaving you weirdly unsatisfied. Why? Science doesn't have a perfect answer, but the working theory is that the sneeze signal is like an electrical circuit. Dust, pollen, or bright light sends a message to the brainstem, which controls the sneeze reflex. But if something interrupts that signal, a sudden thought, a noise, or just a weak trigger, the whole chain collapses. The sneeze dies in transit. Your nervous system basically shrugs and says, never mind. And you're left with the same frustration as getting left on read. Do you want me to keep going with entries 7 to 1 in this same human glitch funny psychology style so you'll have the full top 10 list ready as a polished set? Nice, you're keeping the exact tone and flow from the earlier entries: light humor, science, psychology, and relatability. Let me polish these number 7, number 4 entries so they match perfectly with your top 10 glitches of the human mind-body list. Number 7, the staring contest. You know that weird sixth sense when you suddenly feel like someone's staring at you, and then you look up to catch their eyes locked on you? Creepy, but not magic. It's your brain's built-in gaze detection system. Back in the caveman days, being stared at usually meant predator or angry rival, so evolution hardwired us with a 24/7 who's watching me radar. The wild part is, it doesn't even require you to consciously look. Tiny cues, the tilt of a head, body posture, or just being in someone's line of sight are enough to set it off. That vague unease you feel at the cafe before you lock eyes with a stranger? That's not telepathy. That's your ancient survival software running in the background. Number 6, the imaginary smell. 1 second, you're minding your own business, and then, out of nowhere, you swear you smell burning wires, fresh flowers, or something strangely familiar. No one else notices it. Welcome to phantasmia, phantom smells. Sometimes it can signal something medical, migraines, sinus issues, even neurological stuff, but often it's just your olfactory system glitching out. Your nose is wired directly into the brain regions that handle memory and emotion, so even the tiniest random trigger can set off a full-on ghost scent. It's like having a song stuck in your head, but for smells. Your brain just misfired the scent playback button, convincing you something's in the air when it really isn't. Number 5, the human compass glitch. Ever feel absolutely certain that north is that way, only to find out you're walking east? Or swear the restaurant was on your left, but it's actually behind you? That's your brain's internal GPS failing. Deep in your hippocampus live place cells and grid cells that build mental maps of where you are. In nature, this works beautifully with mountains, rivers, and trees. But cities? Just endless identical office blocks and straight lines. No wonder we get lost. And here's the kicker. The more we rely on Google Maps, the lazier these cells become. It's a use it or lose it deal. For most of us, our once sharp internal compass is now nothing more than a decorative paperweight inside our heads. Number 4, the fake memory. You'd bet money you saw that movie in theaters, or that a famous person once said that exact quote. Except they didn't. What you're experiencing is the Mandela effect. False memories that feel just as real as true ones. Your brain doesn't store experiences like a video file. It reconstructs them every time, like a painter touching up a canvas. And painters make mistakes. We fill in gaps with details that should be there, or that we've picked up later. Over time, even hearing someone else's fake story can overwrite your own memory. It's creepy to realize, but your personal history book is more like a Google Doc with anyone can edit permissions. Do you want me to now wrap up with numbers 3-1, so the entire countdown is polished and ready as one coherent script? Perfect. These 3 close the list beautifully. Let me polish number 3, number 1, so they flow seamlessly with the rest of your countdown. Number 3, the exploding head. You're drifting off to sleep, floating in that calm space between awake and dreaming, when suddenly, bang, a thunderclap, a gunshot, a crash echoes inside your skull. You jolt awake, heart racing, only to realize the room is completely silent. Welcome to exploding head syndrome. Despite the dramatic name, it's harmless. Just your brain misfiring at the worst possible time. Normally, as you fall asleep, your brain powers down its sensory systems in sequence. But sometimes that shutdown glitches, and a cluster of auditory neurons fires all at once. The result? Your brain convinces you it just heard the loudest noise of your life. It's basically your nervous system pranking you as you're about to drift into REM. Number 2, the human anomaly. You're walking through a crowd when you suddenly lock eyes with a stranger. For a split second, you know you've met before. Except you haven't. This isn't déjà vu. It's a quirk of our brain's facial recognition system. Humans are insanely good at spotting familiar faces. Milliseconds is all it takes. But the system isn't perfect. Sometimes a stranger's features line up just enough, jawline, smile, eye shape, that your brain registers a false positive. It's not a memory, but it feels like one. That fleeting connection, that uncanny spark of recognition with a total stranger is nothing more than your face-detecting supercomputer firing off the wrong signal. Number 1, the mirror gaze effect. Stand in front of a mirror, dim the lights, and stare into your own eyes for 10 minutes. Don't look away. Slowly, your reflection starts to warp. Features stretch, melt, or morph into entirely different faces. Some people see strangers, others see monsters. This unsettling illusion is known as the Troxler effect, or the stranger in the mirror illusion. Here's what's happening. Your brain is wired to ignore unchanging visual input. Stare too long at one spot, and your brain starts editing out the static parts of the scene. Then it fills in the blanks with scraps of memory, imagination, and, unfortunately, your darkest fears. The result is your own reflection turning into something alien. Basically, your brain gets so bored of your face, it decides to remix it into a horror show. That gives you a polished top 10 human glitches list from start to finish, each with a mix of science, weirdness, and humor. Do you want me to now stitch all 10 into one flowing countdown script, like a YouTube narration, with a strong intro plus outro, so it's presentation ready?